Juergen Mueller, Chief Technology Officer of SAP. Where do you see enterprise technology going in the next decade?
Arthur, enterprise technology will continue to develop because every company is becoming a software company, and that just increases the amount of technology that is available to companies. And it will continue to be data-driven. You will see much more artificial intelligence embedded in enterprise applications. And I am a huge believer into cross-application planning, because all the dependencies from your supply chain to your production to your workforce planning, promotional planning, and also to your financial plan, of course, and cash flow, all of that belongs together. And this is something where we can really help enterprises of all sizes, in all geographies, to be much better than they are today. And I'm happy that we with SAP are a huge part of that.
What impact do you expect artificial intelligence and quantum computing to make?
Artificial intelligence will be embedded in all enterprise applications, and it will augment human ingenuity and human intelligence. And where possible, it will propose recommendations for humans to then taking decisions. And then, if we humans feel comfortable enough, we can actually even outsource some of the decision making. We have to be careful also from an ethical perspective, but some decision making we can even outsource to machines. And quantum computing, we are looking at that mainly in two areas. In the area of security, very critical, and also in the area of optimizations. And here as SAP, we are a leader in supply chain, for example, and in manufacturing. So we look at what is the best way how to optimize supply chains. And there we continuously experiment with quantum computing as well. And then there's the area of production planning. So how can you best produce in a very complex environment?
To what extent do you expect these kind of solutions to come out of your own innovation efforts, and to what extent do you expect startups to fill the gaps?
It will be both. For example, in AI, we already have more than 320 embedded AI scenarios at SAP. But also here we work and look at partners to work with, because with AI it's always about data. So if we have the data and can make meaningful AI models, for example, for invoice scanning, for example, for recommendations, for everything in the finance area, then we are best suited to do that. If there's other things, for example, speech to text, text to speech, SAP, we don't have a huge corpus of language data, then we will partner. And on the quantum side, for example, there we as SAP, we are not doing the hardware. So we are partnering with many different companies that are currently working on quantum computing hardware. But we will provide the optimization, the business side of it, what needs to be done once we have that technology available.
That's fascinating. What do you think the enterprise of 2032 will look like in terms of its operations?
It will probably be even more automated. And what I'm dreaming of is an augmented planning and analysis. That means that the enterprise system actually is looking after me. It understands what I want to achieve. For example, if I'm a chief HR officer, it will constantly look at signals that are available in the system. And then it will give me a warning and a recommendation. For example, we see high inflation numbers in the moment. And it could be the case that in some countries I have high attrition in my company. And then I would expect my ERP system, and we are actually working on that, to let me know that there is actually a potential issue. And also it would tell me and recommend me actions to take. So that is what we are already working on. And if you look 10 years into the future, I actually imagine seeing SAP software being very proactive and helping me out even more than it is today.
Thank you, Juergen.
Arthur, thank you very much.